Sitemaps are actually quite interesting because we have several formats available and they allow us to make our website crawlable. But not only that, they actually have potential to solve other SEO problems. By knowing the URLs of your website, of the indexable content of your website, you're able to get search engines, for example, to crawl the right URLs, but also to solve, as I mentioned, other SEO problems, like for example, page speed. When talking about pitfalls or misconceptions about sitemaps is that a lot of people think just because I have a URL in my sitemap, it will actually be crawled. Now there's no guarantee that that will actually happen. It is a suggestion to Google, it's a powerful suggestion to Google. It does help us strengthen our canonical signals, preventing canonicals to be ignored, but a lot of people think that it actually helps our website being crawled, and that it actually guarantees our website being crawled. Now the guarantee is not there. It does help Google prioritize which URLs we want to have crawled as a suggestion, but it's still up to Google to decide which URLs they will crawl. There are also no ranking guarantees. One of the other most common errors I see is that people obsess about all the fields that are possible. Now there are many different types of sitemaps possible. Several types actually, but the one that is most used is the XML sitemap. Now the XML sitemap has several other fields available as well, like in addition to location, which is the primary field for any sitemap because it contains the URL, we also have, for example, last mod, change freak, as well as priority fields. A lot of developers are obsessing about filling out those other fields and say they can't generate a sitemap because they don't have the data for that. The thing is, and this is where I see the misconception, is you do not need to fill out the other fields. The only thing that the search engines actually care about is that location field, the URL. The rest is most of the time ignored anyway. So if you don't have the developer resources to fill out all the details, don't worry about it, focus on the URL. And that's the primary one to focus on. Yes, I see a number of things that we still need to improve, and actually some of it is pretty basic. For example, if our website isn't crawlable, we can't get properly indexed, we can't get properly ranked. We need to solve all of those issues. And still a lot of websites don't do this. Now just to show you how sitemaps can help in that as well, I often hear people coming to me, hey, how about an HTML sitemap? I can improve my internal linking by adding an HTML sitemap and making all the content accessible. But that is looking at internal linking and HTML sitemaps in the wrong way. Because ideally, you don't add an HTML sitemap to support your internal linking. You change your internal linking so your internal linking becomes your HTML sitemap. Yeah, and that's a swift of what we need to look at. Now on top of that we need to look at page speed and content quality. You have seen in the last few years there's been a lot of updates regarding content related relevancy updates from Google, and that's something that we will continue to see.